What if the woman you loved with all your heart was hiding a deadly secret that could destroy your entire family? In a world of luxury and lies, one man's blind trust is about to shatter when a humble maid uncovers a chilling plot. Dive into this gripping tale of betrayal, suspense, and redemption. Stay tuned till the end to see if justice prevails. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more heart-pounding stories that keep you on the edge of your seat. Alexander Harrington stood at the grand balcony of his family's sprawling estate, overlooking the manicured gardens that stretched out like a green carpet under the setting sun. The Harrington mansion, a relic of old money and timeless elegance, had been in his family for generations, passed down from his great-grandfather who built his fortune in shipping during the industrial boom. At 32, Alexander was the heir apparent, a successful entrepreneur in his own right, having expanded the family business into tech investments that yielded billions. But tonight, his mind wasn't on balance sheets or board meetings. It was on Isabella Voss, his fiancée, the woman who had swept into his life like a whirlwind of passion and promise. They had met at a charity gala in New York, her striking emerald eyes locking onto his across the crowded ballroom. Isabella was everything he had ever dreamed of: beautiful, intelligent, ambitious. She came from a modest background, she said, orphaned young and clawing her way up through sheer determination, now a rising star in the fashion industry. Alexander trusted her completely without reservation. Why wouldn't he? She had never given him a reason to doubt her. As he sipped his scotch, the ice clinking softly against the glass, he smiled at the thought of their upcoming wedding. The invitations had already been sent, the venue booked at a lavish resort in the Maldives. His mother, Eleanor Harrington, had been thrilled at first, though lately there was a subtle tension in her voice whenever Isabella's name came up. Eleanor, a formidable woman in her 60s, with silver hair always perfectly coiffed and a wardrobe of designer suits, had built her own legacy as a philanthropist after his father's passing 10 years ago. She doted on Alexander, her only child, but she had her reservations about Isabella. "She's charming, dear, but charm can hide many things," Eleanor had said once, her eyes narrowing slightly. Alexander brushed it off as maternal protectiveness. Little did he know, the shadows in the mansion were about to reveal secrets that would upend his world. Downstairs in the kitchen, Maria Gonzalez, the loyal maid who had served the Harringtons for over 20 years, was polishing the silverware with meticulous care. Maria was in her 50s, with warm brown eyes and a kind face etched with lines from years of hard work. She had immigrated from Mexico as a young woman, finding a home with the Harringtons who treated her like family. Eleanor, in particular, confided in Maria, sharing worries about the estate and her son's future. Maria adored Alexander like a son, having watched him grow from a mischievous boy into a confident man. But lately, something gnawed at her. It started with small things: overhearing Isabella on the phone in hushed tones, her voice sharp and calculating, unlike the sweet demeanor she showed Alexander. Then there were the late-night visits from a mysterious man in a dark sedan, pulling up to the side entrance where the cameras didn't reach. Maria had seen Isabella slip out to meet him, their conversations intense and secretive. One night, curiosity got the better of her and she crept closer, hiding behind the thick hedges. She caught fragments: "The old woman has to go," "inheritance," "make it look natural." Her heart pounded. Was Isabella plotting something against Eleanor? Maria shook her head, dismissing it as paranoia, but the doubts lingered. Alexander descended the grand staircase, his footsteps echoing on the marble floors. The mansion was a labyrinth of opulent rooms, crystal chandeliers hanging from high ceilings, antique furniture passed down through the ages, walls adorned with priceless art. He found Isabella in the drawing room, lounging on a velvet chaise, scrolling through her phone. She looked up, her lips curving into a radiant smile. "Darling, there you are. I've been thinking about our honeymoon, Paris, or maybe Tokyo." Alexander chuckled, pulling her into his arms. "Anywhere with you is perfect." They kissed, the moment tender and full of promise. But as he held her, Maria entered the room carrying a tray of evening tea. She set it down quietly, her eyes flicking to Isabella with unspoken suspicion. Isabella noticed, her smile faltering for a split second. "Thank you, Maria. That will be all." Maria nodded and left, but not before catching the cold glint in Isabella's eyes. That night, as the household slept, Maria couldn't shake her unease. She slipped into the study, where Alina kept her personal files. Perhaps there was something about Isabella's background that Alina had uncovered. Rifling through drawers, she found a folder labeled Voss Inquiry. Inside were reports from a private investigator Alina had hired discreetly. Isabella Voss wasn't who she claimed. Her real name was Isabel Ramirez, with a criminal record for fraud and embezzlement in her early 20s. She had changed her identity, climbing social ladders by targeting wealthy men. But the most damning was a note in Alina's handwriting. Suspected involvement in suspicious death of previous fiancée's mother, ruled natural causes, but questions remain. Maria's hands trembled. This was worse than she imagined. Isabella was a black widow in the making, and Alina was her next target. The next morning, Alexander woke to the aroma of fresh coffee. He joined his mother in the breakfast nook, where sunlight streamed through floor-to-ceiling windows. Alina looked frail lately, her health declining after a bout with pneumonia. "Mother, you should see the doctor again," Alexander said, concern etching his face. Alina waved him off. "I'm fine, just tired. Tell me about the wedding plans." As they chatted, Isabella entered, dressed impeccably in a tailored dress. "Good morning, Alina. You look well." Her tone was polite, but Maria, serving breakfast, detected the insincerity. Later that day, while cleaning Isabella's room, Maria found a small vial hidden in a drawer, clear liquid, unlabeled. Her mind raced. Poison. She pocketed it, determined to test it somehow. But how? She wasn't a detective. That evening, the family hosted a dinner party for close friends. The dining room was alive with laughter, clinking glasses, and the scent of gourmet cuisine. Alexander proposed a toast to Isabella, his eyes shining with love. "To the woman who completes me." Everyone cheered, but Maria, serving from the shadows, felt a chill. After the guests left, she confronted Alina in private. "Senora, I think Isabella is dangerous. I found this." She showed the vial and the folder. Alina's face paled. "My God, Maria, we must tell Alexander." But Maria hesitated. "He won't believe us without proof. He's blinded by love." They decided to gather more evidence. Meanwhile, Isabella was in her suite on the phone with her accomplice, a shady figure named Victor, her ex-partner in crime. "The old bat is weakening. A little more in her tea and it'll look like heart failure. Then the inheritance is ours," Victor laughed. "Just make sure the maid doesn't snoop too much." Isabella's eyes narrowed. "If she does, she'll be next." Unbeknownst to them, Maria had planted a small recorder in the room, a gadget she borrowed from the estate's security system. The next day, as Alexander prepared for a business trip, tension simmered. He kissed Isabella goodbye, promising to return soon. "Take care of mother for me." Isabella smiled sweetly. "Of course, darling." With Alexander gone, the plot thickened. Maria shadowed Isabella, watching her slip something into Alina's afternoon tea. Heart racing, Maria switched the cups at the last moment. Alina drank safely, but Isabella noticed the switch later, her suspicion turning to rage. "That meddling maid," she muttered. That night, Maria listened to the recording, clear evidence of the murderous plot. She had to act fast. But Isabella was one step ahead, confronting Maria in the kitchen. "I know you've been spying. Stay out of my way or you'll regret it." Maria stood firm. "I won't let you hurt this family." The confrontation escalated, Isabella grabbing a knife from the counter. "You should have minded your own business." Just then, Alina entered, witnessing the scene. "What is going on?" Isabella spun a lie. "She attacked me." But Maria played the recording, Isabella's voice damning her. Alina's eyes widened in horror. They locked Isabella in a room, calling the police. But Isabella escaped through a window, fleeing into the night. The chapter built to a climax as Alexander returned early, only to find chaos. "What's happened?" Alina and Maria explained everything, showing the evidence. Alexander's world crumbled. "How could I be so blind?" But Isabella was still out there, and the danger wasn't over. As sirens wailed in the distance, the family huddled together, the loyal maid's bravery shining through. Yet the plot was far from resolved. Isabella had allies, and revenge was brewing. With Isabella on the run, the Harrington mansion felt like a fortress under siege. Alexander paced the study, his mind a storm of betrayal and regret. How had he missed the signs? Isabella, or Isabel as her true identity revealed, had played him masterfully, weaving a web of lies that ensnared his heart. The police had arrived swiftly after Aliner's call, combing the estate for clues. Detective Harlan Reed, a grizzled veteran with a no-nonsense demeanor, took statements from everyone. "We'll find her, Mr. Harrington, but be careful, she's dangerous." Alexander nodded, but doubt gnawed at him. Maria, the unsung hero, busied herself with fortifying the home, checking locks and cameras. "Senor Alexander, she won't stop, we must be vigilant." Alina, though shaken, showed her steel. "We've faced worse, son. Your father built this family on resilience." As days passed, Alexander delved into Isabella's past, hearing investigators to unearth more. What he discovered chilled him. Isabella's real family had been ruined by a business deal gone wrong involving his grandfather decades ago. It wasn't just greed, it was revenge. Her previous fiancée's mother had died under suspicious circumstances, ruled as natural but now reopened as a cold case. Alexander felt a pang of guilt. Had his family's legacy bred this monster? Meanwhile, Isabella hid in a dingy motel on the city's outskirts, plotting her next move with Victor. "We can't let this slide. The inheritance is still within reach if we eliminate the obstacles." Victor, a burly man with tattoos snaking up his arms, grinned. "The maid first, she's the weak link." Back at the mansion, Maria received anonymous threats notes slipped under doors warning her to back off. She confided in Alexander. "I'm scared, but I won't run." Alexander admired her loyalty. "Your family, Maria, will protect you." He installed additional security, but tension mounted. One stormy night, as thunder rattled the windows, an intruder breached the perimeter. Alarms blared, and Alexander grabbed a poker from the fireplace, racing downstairs. He found Maria grappling with a masked figure, Victor. "Get off her!" Alexander shouted, tackling the assailant. A fierce struggle ensued, furniture crashing, fists flying. Maria grabbed a vase, smashing it over Victor's head, knocking him out. Police arrived, arresting him. Interrogation revealed Isabella's hideout. But when they raided it, she was gone, leaving a taunting note. "This isn't over, your mother is next." Alexander's resolve hardened. He confronted his mother about the family history. Alina sighed. "Your grandfather was ruthless in business. He bankrupted many, including Isabella's father, who took his own life. I never knew the full extent." Alexander felt the weight of inherited sins. "We have to make this right, but first, stop her." Maria, ever resourceful, remembered the vial she had pocketed. Analysis confirmed it was a slow-acting poison, linking Isabella to attempted murder. The net tightened. Isabella, desperate, infiltrated a gala Alina was attending for her charity. Disguised as a server, she approached with a tainted drink. But Maria, attending as Alina's aide, spotted her. "Stop!" she cried, knocking the glass away. Chaos erupted, guests screaming as security swarmed. Isabella fled, but Alexander, present at the event, gave chase through the crowded streets. Rain poured, slicking the pavements. He cornered her in an alley. "Why, Isabella, I loved you," she laughed bitterly. "Love, this was never about love. Your family destroyed mine, now I'll destroy yours." She lunged with a hidden blade, but Alexander dodged, disarming her. Police arrived, cuffing her. In custody, Isabella confessed everything: the plot, the past vendettas, the previous crimes. Justice was served, but scars remained. Alexander, reflecting on the ordeal, hugged his mother and Maria. "You saved us all," Maria smiled. "Loyalty is stronger than deceit." The family emerged stronger, with Alexander vowing to right old wrongs through philanthropy. As peace returned to the mansion, he found solace in truth, forever grateful to the loyal maid who unveiled the darkness. If this story left you breathless and craving more tales of intrigue, betrayal, and triumph, hit that subscribe button right now. Join our community for exclusive content, behind-the-scenes insights, and notifications on the latest episodes that will keep you coming back for more. Don't miss out. Subscribe today and become part of the adventure.